In this video, you will be learning how to adjust letter and word spacing, adjust line breaks, set tabs, and create a hanging indent. You can change line spacing between letters and words using kerning and tracking. By adjusting kerning, you can add or subtract space between specific letter pairs. Tracking increases or decreases space across a range of letters. Using your type tool, click on a point, an insertion point, at the beginning of your S in your story. I'll zoom in to show you. Here's my insertion point. Now there are two options to do this. Option 1 is the easiest one, and that's by pressing Control on your keyboard and the right arrow 2 times. This moves, not Control, pressing Alt. Press Alt on your keyboard and your right arrow 2 times. You can see this moves the text over, shifts it over to the right, gives it more space between your drop cap and your text itself. The other way you can do is you can come up to here. This is tracking, this is kerning. With the kerning right now it's set to 40. If you decrease it, it goes closer to the text. And if you increase it, it goes further from the text. You can do the same exact concept with the keyboard with Alt and the right arrow and the left arrow. The kerning field in the character panel control lets you see and adjust the amount of space between the characters. Now let's set the tracking for the box below for if you go. With your type tool, select if you go, and once you have that selected, go over to character panel, and in your character panel you're going to come over to tracking and you're going to change this to 50 and press enter. You can do the exact same options up here. You'll notice that this if you go spaces out a little bit further. Now when it comes to line breaks, when text is not justified, the breaks at the end of each line impact the readability. I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to go to the author section, the author bio, which is on this right side. You can use your type tool and select anywhere in this author bio of Julia Pepin. This is called rag whenever the lines are very choppy on one side or the other. Typically a graphic designer will experiment with the combination of the settings for a few paragraphs of sample text to make sure it looks right before anything. This text in this lesson is composed using a default composer. To see the difference between the two, you'll recompose the body text using a single text line composer. Click to place an insertion point anywhere in the main story. This is not rag. Cancel, 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 cancel. In the paragraph panel, which is over here on the right side, you're going to go to the menu and you're going to choose Balance Ragged Lines. This shifts text so that it's a little more readable and easily adjusted to your eyes. I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to select anywhere. You can select anywhere in the text for now. And next we're going to use the single line composer option. So you're going to need to select all of your text, by going to Edit, Select All, or Control A. After you have selected all of your text, in this paragraph panel, go to the menu and go to Adobe Single Line Composer. This spaces your text out, and yes, the restaurant will push down more, and yes, more than likely you will have overset text. You can see that there's overset text right here. The Single Line Composer handles each line individually. As a result, some lines in the paragraph appear denser than other lines. Click in a blank area on the gray paste bar, and you can see some lines are pushed together more, some aren't. Some are spaced out a little more than others. To restore the story back to the Adobe Paragraph Composer, the original version, you can go to Edit and Undo, or Control Z, and you can deselect the text itself. The next item we're going to be working with is we are going to be setting tabs, which we're going to be working with the If You Go box again. So you can zoom into this If You Go box. Once you're at this If You Go box, you can click anywhere in the box and go up to Type and go to Tabs, which is right here. We're going to set the tabs, so make sure you have a left justified tab. We're going to select this text from Name all the way down to the bottom, and with this left justified tab, this should be all the way over already. Yours should look something like this already. With this left justify tab, you're going to click inside here, and then you're going to inside this ruler line with this left justify tab, and you're going to change it to 5P5 and press enter. Next, you're going to come over to the leader section, and you're going to make a period with a space and press enter. This will set up your justifications for this If You Go box. The next part can be a little tricky. You're going to need to select your text, and you're going to need to click this top triangle. It's very small, very difficult to see, and drag it all the way over as far as you need. And then drag this small triangle as well all the way over this to 5P5. Once you've got that over at 5P5, you can come back to your original one and drag it back to the 0. It's a little bit redundant, but what you just did is with these two arrows, when you move the first one over far, and then you move the second one right below it to the 5P5, you created an indent on this for the www.opentable.com and the 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. You can see in the paragraph panel right here, this is what we just created. We created a left indent of 5P5 and a first line left indent of -5P5.